Marriage in Islam, Lesson 3, Premarital Advice. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala khatim al-anbiya'i wal-mursaleen, Nabiyyina Muhammadin, wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa tabi'ina lahum bi ihsan ila yawmiddin. All praise is for Allah, the Lord of the worlds, and peace and blessings be upon the seal of the prophets and messengers, our Prophet Muhammad, and upon his family and companions, and all those who follow them in righteousness until the day of recompense. Insha'Allah, in this lesson, we'll discuss premarital etiquettes, including finding a spouse, Salaatul-Istikhaarah, the proposal, the glance, an intellectual approach, the dowry and conditions, additional notes, and advice to parents. Finding a spouse. The right way to finding a spouse is to make sure they are suitable and trustworthy before getting to know them. The wrong way is to get to know them first so that your heart may rule your mind. In that state, you won't be able to judge the suitability of the spouse and may easily go beyond the set limits set by Islam. And those who cross the boundaries and fell into sin should preferably only marry others who are in the same situation. The fornicator does not marry except a fornicator or polytheist, and none marries her except a fornicator or polytheist, and that has been made unlawful to the believers. The right way to finding a spouse includes making dua and asking Allah to make everything easy and to grant you a spouse who will be good for you in this life and the hereafter. Be clear about what you prefer in your spouse and your expectations. Be open and discuss with your parents vague ideas about your ideas of a spouse. A note with regard to parents. For the sake of Allah, you should do your best to please your parents and keep the family ties together. So if you feel that during the process of hinting about marriage to your parents, they make some strong statements about certain ideas, then focusing on those prospective spouses may lead to an easier and happier union. It is also important for you to state your preferences in such a way so that they don't try to encourage you to marry someone you don't like. Let people know. Let people know that you are interested in marrying. Word of mouth is the best way to find a potential spouse. When the information comes from people who are known, then it is easy to ask about them and make sure their religion and character are exactly what you expect. Distant internet marriages are discouraged because it is impossible to know if this man or woman is telling the truth or just fooling around looking for some temporary fun. Many terrible stories have been heard from those who took this daring step. Have a read. Salaatul-Istikhaarah. When you have found someone you think is suitable, you should both pray Salaatul-Istikhaarah, asking Allah for His blessings and ease in your affair if it is good for your religion and hereafter. The response of the Salaatul-Istikhaarah prayer is that your affairs will be made smooth and easy. It does not mean that you will have dreams, as some people have claimed. This is evident from the supplication which is made. The Istikhaarah prayer is saying the following supplication after any 2 rak'at of voluntary prayer. اللهم إني أستخيرك بعلمك وأستقدرك بقدرتك وأسألك من فضلك فإنك تقدر ولا أقدر وتعلم ولا أعلم وأنت علام الغيوب اللهم فإن كنت تعلم هذا الأمر, and here you name your circumstance, خيرا لي في ديني ومعاشي وعاقبة أمري فقدره لي ويسره لي ثم بارك لي فيه اللهم إن كنت تعلم أنه شر لي في ديني ومعاشي وعاقبة أمري فاصرفني عنه وقدر لي الخير حيث كان ثم ردني به. O Allah, I consult you, for you have all knowledge, and I appeal to you to support me with your power and ask for your bounty. For you are able to do things while I am not, and you know while I do not. And you are the knower of the unseen. O Allah, if you know this matter, and here you name your matter, is good for me in my religion, in this life and in the hereafter, then fulfill it for me and make it easy for me, and then bestow your blessings on me in that matter. O Allah, if you know that this matter is not good for me in my religion, in my life, and in my coming hereafter, then divert me from it and choose for me what is good wherever it may be, and make me be pleased with it. The proposal. Once the couple have both decided from the description of each other that they are suitable, the man should make a formal proposal to her father, or closest mahram. It was narrated that Umar, radiallahu anh, proposed to someone on behalf of his daughter, so it is acceptable for the woman's side to make the proposal. However, many cultures find this unacceptable today. The glance. After everyone is agreed, the couple should arrange to meet and see each other in the presence of her father or nearest mahram, the non-marriageable relative. Having a third party prevents the couple from being lured into anything impermissible. It is highly recommended that the couple see each other in person to make sure they appeal to each other. Photos don't allow you to get a real sense of the person. During these meetings, the couple can also discuss any necessary issues. An intellectual approach. Use your intellect when making your decision before you let love and romance take over. Don't start chatting or daydreaming before any firm agreement. Anything could happen to prevent the marriage from taking place, and the last thing you want is a broken heart, or worse, to fall into a major sin because of an uncontrollable, intense love. The Dowry and Conditions. The dowry is an amount of money which is given to the bride. It is the bride who chooses the amount and is generally influenced by her peers. New Muslim women may ask the groom's family what the standard amount is paid in their family or culture, or she can specify any amount she likes. The dowry can be paid before the marriage or after. It has become common in some cultures to divide the amount into installments, for example, where half is paid before the marriage and the remainder is paid after, which is recommended today. Any other requested conditions should be clearly stated before the marriage. Conditions which you set should be what will affect you in your marriage. For example, if a man expects his wife not to work, he should state this in the contract. And if a woman does not want her husband to marry a second wife, or she wants to finish her studies and work, then this also should be stipulated in the contract. It was reported the Prophet said, "Indeed, the conditions that deserve to be fulfilled the most are those which allow you access to the women's private parts." Impermissible spouses. If the man has made a contract with the first wife not to take a second wife, then he is not permitted to marry again. And in the event the husband or wife breaks any aspect of the contract, then the marriage can be terminated. Otherwise, if marrying a second wife, the man is not allowed to marry the sister or aunt of his first wife, which may disrupt the family. Additional notes. It is appropriate that the bride notify the groom of her dowry price and they both confirm any conditions requested before the glance. In case the amount is not appropriate for the groom or he doesn't agree with any conditions, he can discreetly decline without any embarrassment on either side. 2. The dowry is not given to men or the fathers of the bride. It is only for the women. There are incidents in India, for example, where Muslims are influenced by the Indian culture where the wife pays the dowry. However, this is against the teachings of Islam. 3. It is recommended for the dowry and any conditions to be written and signed by witnesses to avoid any future disputes. 4. Some cultures request very large dowries, but it is recommended to keep it simple. However, it may be necessary for the bride to consider any special circumstances. For example, it would be recommended to ask for a higher dowry in the event the man is known for divorcing frequently. Additionally, if either party has any medical conditions or defects, they must inform the prospective spouse, who can otherwise later annul the marriage if it disturbs them. And 6, Temporary marriages are forbidden in Islam. Joking is not permitted in any affairs of marriage. This is both in regard to marriage and divorce. Any statement of marriage or divorce is regarded as a serious commitment in Islam, and it is not permissible to play with people's feelings. When a man is inquiring about a woman for marriage, it is not permissible for another man to interrupt with another proposal until the first proposal has been cancelled or rejected. Photos are discouraged, as many young men have been known to abuse these photos, just looking at women for pleasure with no intention to marry, and some have been known to share photos with friends. May Allah protect our sisters and increase the goodness in our society. Ameen. It is not permissible for anyone in the state of Ihram, those performing Hajj or Umrah, to be involved with any marriage affairs, including proposals. Advice to parents. If someone is proposing to marry your daughter or your son, then providing their religion and character are pleasing to you, you should let them marry. Causing a couple any difficulties in marriage when they have both been prepared for a life together will only result in corruption. They may either elope and cut family ties, or their heart will remain attached and they may become miserable. Even if they were to later marry someone else who you are pleased with, they will not be happy, and this will cause further problems in their marriage. As parents, it is very important for us to think rationally and not let our own preferences for our child's spouse overrule their own preferences. May Allah guide us to what pleases Him in all circumstances. Ameen. Alhamdulillah, in this lesson we spoke about pre-marriage etiquettes such as finding a spouse, the dowry, and advice to parents. Insha'Allah, in the next lesson we will discuss the wedding procedure. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.